Hello, loves, and welcome to Why Am I Like This Wednesday. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you'd like to follow. If not, it's okay. We can't all be perfect. No, I'm kidding. Welcome to my Wednesday chat and the whole why am I like this? Let's get to know me. What's going on? Today I'm doing something a little different because I wanted to kill two birds with one stone. Usually I'll try to do my makeup before, but I asked on my Instagram, I did a little poll and everyone said to do it while I recorded my little session here. So that's what we're gonna do. You get to see me nice and bare and naked. I washed my face. I'm gonna go ahead and put some eye cream. If you guys want me to list what I'm using, just let me know. Mostly everything that I have that I use for my face, the majority, not all of it, but most of it, I would get from my BoxyCharm boxes. I need to start getting them again, but the girl's not working right now, so you gotta work with what you got, right? So yeah. Today's topic, why do I have something there? What is that? Today's topic I wanted to talk about, I always put it here too in my crow's feet because you guys, I don't look 40, but can I tell you, it's creeping up. And I put it on like my laugh lines. Okay. Today's topic I wanted to talk about, I actually hear it more and more because I'm starting to connect more with people who are working on themselves, and you can't help but see like how much it bothers people to see other people heal. Now, the only people it bothers, I always do this, are people who are not healed themselves, don't feel that they need to be healed, and you know, very toxic people. And usually they're the ones that have caused a lot of your trauma and your issues. So that's great. Allow your face to dry a little bit. Today I'm trying two new things that I bought at Target. They're both primers. I don't know if you're allowed to put two primers at once, but they're two different textures, so that's what I'm gonna do, okay? But I'm waiting for my face. What does it mean to be a toxic person? What does that mean to you? To me, before I even read it, this is just Google, to me, being a toxic person is someone who tries to halt or affect in any way another person's progress, as long as it's positive. And to me, I feel like the word progress goes into the right direction anyways. So if someone's working on themselves and you're trying to hinder that growth, you're toxic. If you have something negative to say about another person working on themselves, you're toxic. If you have an opinion without even telling that person that their healing bothers you, red flag. I don't understand why another person's journey for themselves would ever bother, why it would ever bother another person. I'm also gonna do my hair. So, okay, face is dry. So let's talk about that. Let's see what Google says. What does it mean to be a toxic person? Toxic people have harmful behaviors that can have lasting impacts on those around them. This feels good. They are often self-centered. Anybody have a few people in their lives that are self-centered? Well, there's no way you're watching my channel and you don't have those people in your lives, because we're the only people who are trying to break the traditional curses, and we're also the only ones that will Google or in YouTube try to figure out like, why are people so shitty? So, yeah, I'm sure one of you watching this definitely has someone who is self-centered, manipulative, abusive, lacking in empathy. They may be referred to as narcissistic, selfish, or a sociopath. Okay, next thing. I'm not sure about you, but once 2020 hit and COVID was just in our faces, this little thing makes noise. Anybody else feel like everyone had nothing but time to try to diagnose everybody? Like, I had people in my life who have never known what a narcissist was. Can I just say I love this thing? Not sponsored, but what is it called? Like, I love this thing. We had to live with him. And his behavior and my husband's behavior at the time, I just, I had some time when I was trying to stay stuck in a room because we never wanted to go out and be around his father. And I started Googling like serial cheaters and people who are very self-centered and non-empathetic. And when it starts to give you like a list of things, and then it kept on circling back to a narcissist, a covert narcissist, and all these different narcissists. And I was just like, holy shit, is my father-in-law like a narcissist? So, moral of my story is, for whatever reason during COVID, everyone felt that they just took it upon themselves to start diagnosing everyone and their mama. And then that's when I was like, dude, wow, there's so many narcissists in this world. Like, this world is filled with them. Oh my God. You guys. Then I started like doing my own research and then realizing like, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get it from my therapist. Not from her, but if she can tell me how I can get it. I'm sure I could probably even find it on Amazon or Google it. But there's actually a book that they have, that they get, that you're able to look at like this listing of people or like traits that you have that would label you like a narcissist. You'd be surprised, a lot of us will have those traits and automatically assume, oh, my mom's selfish or my brother's selfish, and because they're selfish and manipulative, that makes them a narcissist. No, it doesn't. Stop. Stop diagnosing people without fully knowing how to diagnose someone. They could honestly just be an asshole. You can be an asshole and not be a narcissist, okay? So let's just stop labeling people because they have more than one trait of what a label would have. Let me just say that when it comes to my father-in-law, that's a very touchy subject for me. And it's just because, without giving this man's personal life, because I'm not going to do that, it's not my place. But what I will say is his childhood was very traumatic. And it's not an excuse for his behavior or who he is. But what I will say is, because of that, I've always had a lot of empathy for him. But then after living with him, no. I was like, sir, you're just plain evil. Like, you're just angry, and I don't know, I can't. And I totally forgot that my brush that I use for my makeup is in my purse. Holy cow. This is me going extra sloppy and going extra quick. So let's see if Brandy could do it. This is my eyeshadow primer. And I got this one off of Amazon, if you want to know. Huh. I saw someone start doing their eyebrows after they did their makeup, so that's what we're gonna try. Look at how cute. This is from Ipsy, right? Yeah. So we're just gonna use one brush to do it all. But let's go ahead and put this little light one over here. Oh, actually, is this setting powder? Finishing powder, wait. I had it right here. Let's go ahead and do this again real quick. Why am I doing that if I'm using it to put it on there anyways? Do you see what happens? How is it that talking about toxic people even affects my train of thought? That is some PTSD, okay? I kid. I don't, but I do. It irks me, and I'm sure it irks you, where when those people are around other people and they're not showing their true colors, it's almost like offensive. Like, show them who you are. But you have to be nice. I'm going to put this as light as possible because I'm only using 2 colors. Excuse me. And by doing that, I could use different shades to make it look like it's just blending in better. Why am I talking to you about my makeup? This is about healing. I have 5 more minutes. I'm going to come back on here. That's what we're going to do. I'm not even going to stress anymore. But I can't go to my son's school with one eye on. That's just not going to work. So if you have that toxic person in your life, start setting boundaries. And if they're not happy with you healing in the nicest way possible, fuck them. Okay? Respectfully, fuck you. Okay? Seriously. I'm so serious when I say that. Because anyone who hinders your recovery process, your healing process, that's just not a good person. And I don't know how many times I have to tell people this, and I say it often because I have people in my life where they're just like, I know, but this is how my mom feels, and this is how my dad feels, this is how my brother, sister, cousin, whoever. And I can't help but think, like, do you understand that while you're healing, you're telling me about other people not being comfortable with you healing? Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Why is you healing affecting another person that much? It's almost as if your healing is their kryptonite. Not okay. Not okay. And not your problem. Okay, so it almost seems like a toxic person is almost like the definition of a narcissist, because then right here, this is all the things you hear when you like type in narcissist. They may mask their negative traits by being charming or friendly. Toxic people may be family members. Oh, I'm not sure about you guys, but 90% of the toxic people in my life are my family members. Friends, coworkers, employers, neighbors, or leaders of organizations. Ew, we already know what that sounds like. Some common behaviors of toxic people include constant criticism. Have you ever had a friend or friends where you post something and they have something negative to say about it? You are grammatically wrong in something and they have something to say about it. When it's like, you know my point and you know that's not important about what it is that I'm trying to say, but that's what you got out of my post, or that's what you got out of my rant or my whining, whatever the case is. What you got from that is just trying to be hurtful. And they always try to mask it with like, but you know I love you. Yeah, like when you start healing and you come to this place of I give 0 fucks, you start to not care and you start to see everyone's true colors, where before you would view them as, oh, well, they're just being, you know, they're just watching out for me. That's a lie. That's a lie. They're not watching out for you, because people who are drawn to you naturally won't care about those things. And they will, if let's say you are just like really bad at grammar and spelling or whatever the case is, there's a different way to approach that than most people who are negative assholes do. So you can tell the difference. And you know what? The sad part is I don't even think they always know what it is that they're doing because they're so negative. That's just who they are. That's built into them. That's their personality. So it's really sad. Let's see what else. Some common behaviors of toxic people include constant criticism, gaslighting, passive-aggressive behavior. Oh my God. Tell me when I'm reading this that you guys don't think of like, that's that person, that's that person. Ooh, that's that person. Oh, that sounds like this person. If you have every single person you have listed shouldn't be in your life. And if they're in your life, it should be limited. If it's hard for you to completely remove them, limit the access they have to you. Limit the access they have to you. Okay? And a need for power and control. If you call this behavior to their attention, they may criticize you for having an issue with their behavior. They will then falsely portray themselves as the victim and you as the perpetrator. Again, how many of you are you listing people? I mean, I'm top of my head as I'm reading that, I know about 7 people like that, and about 4 or 5 are still in my life, but very limited, very limited. And way more to talk about. Does it let me zoom in? Yes, I'm wearing the wrong bra. So here it also says, and this what I'm reading is Google, they emotionally drain you. How emotionally drained are you when you go to a family gathering? And this is me assuming that what you're healing from or your trauma is based off of your childhood. Because don't get me wrong, a lot of people who had pretty good childhoods still have trauma they dealt with in different aspects of their childhood when they visited a different relative. Because I feel like the trauma that I had in my life was not necessarily in the home of my grandmother, although some of it was. But I led a pretty healthy, normal life at my grandmother's house. But the fact that she allowed drug addicts around me because they were people she really cared about and people that she was related to, she didn't understand the ramifications that comes with that. She wasn't aware that that was going to create long-term damage. So having PTSD or childhood trauma or trauma in general, when you deal with that toxic behavior and those traits, when you're around certain people, you find yourself exhausted. It's just draining. And it doesn't have to be relatives, although that's usually the case. I don't know about you, but sometimes even the thought about being around a mentally draining person is draining. Like, I'm exhausted before I get there. Like, I have to mentally prepare myself for that person's energy, and I don't always have it. Like, I don't have the ability to deal with their shit. You just put a little right under the brow bone. That looks so pretty. I mean, that looks so pretty. I'm a fan. Toxic people drain your energy by constantly demanding attention. Ooh. Sympathy or validation. Can I just say that I'm very close to someone I absolutely adore and love? And this is something her and I talk about all the time. I am not going to say names because, to be honest, there's about 3 people I am very close to that this would apply to. So even if you're watching this, You're probably one of the ones I'm talking about. For one, it's their mom. For another, it's their ex-in-laws. For another, it's their in-laws. And then for another, it's a friend. So it's just, it's, not saying any names. They play the victim role expertly. Yep, that applies to every single buddy, everybody that I know that I feel this way about. Their negativity and constant complaining can weigh heavily on you. Oh my God, the constant whining. And you know what? I whine. I'm a whiner. So if someone's whining annoys me, you're really whining, because I know I'm a whiner. So because I know I'm a whiner, I try not to judge others that whine, because we all want to whine sometimes. But some people just take it a little too far. Leaving little room for positive interactions with them. Like, you want to be positive. I'm that person that, and I'm not sure if you're this way, where we'll be talking and you can say something negative or not that great, and my response is just like, oh wow, that sucks. Well, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Well, maybe this is an option. Well, maybe that's an option. The draining people, the exhausting people, those are the ones that are like, I tried that. And then I'm like, oh, really? How? And then they'll tell me and I'm like, that's not what I said. Maybe that's why it didn't work, because your idea of what I'm saying isn't even what it is that you did. But okay. They're the people that are not good with you pretty much telling them they're wrong. We all know those people. Okay, can I just say that on Thanksgiving, my eyebrows turned out really nice, and I did them in like 3 minutes in the car. That probably will not be the case today, but I had to brag about it because it did happen. Okay. So, toxic people often manipulate others, including gaslighting their victims. This psychological abuse can leave you questioning your sanity, increasing anxiety, and decreasing self-esteem. Now listen right quick. I don't know about you, but being around a narcissist, that is not what our topic should be about, though. Although I'm starting to see a pattern where I feel like most people like us who are dealing with trauma had narcissists in our life. Like, we didn't want them there, but they were there. That eyebrow actually looks fine. Ho ho. Okay. Okay, Brandy. All right. Okay, maybe in a while. But right now, I'm not good enough with this to like talk and do. Let me tell you, I could multitask with the best of them, especially once I get used to it. This, I am not used to. No, ma'am, no, sir. Okay. There's a silence. I'm gonna have to like speed this up in the video, because you guys. It's not the worst, it's not the best, but I'm trying to do very light and very Toxic people often manipulate others, including gaslighting their victims. This psychological abuse can leave you questioning your sanity, increasing anxiety, and decreasing self-esteem. Now, I remember being around certain cousins, which, you know, I didn't think that and I still honestly don't strongly feel that some of my cousins are narcissists, but even my therapist has said this, it is really hard to not label them that when so many, even aunts and uncles, so many traits that they have fall under that category. Like not just 3 or 4, like everything I've read since I've been reading from here. Like it's just, and it's heartbreaking because you don't want that, if that makes sense. Like I don't want anyone in my family to be that, but I will say they do a lot of manipulating or try to do manipulating. They also try to threaten. I heard that not too long ago by a cousin where I was told if I continue to tell my story that involved them, that they were going to take me to court for defamation. Now, because I'm healing and I'm trying to become a better person, I didn't laugh in their face. Because have you ever realized, and there was like 3 other cousins actually, an aunt and 2 other cousins, or 4 cousins, I think maybe 4 or 5 people total, said things like that to me along the lines of that. And it just confirms, are you stupid? But then there was a part of me, it's like, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. Like, have you ever gone back and forth with a toxic person? Once you start to heal in your mind, you're like, oh, we're not going to do this. Why? You are not going to understand me, and I will not understand you. Even if at one point in my life I might have understood you, I've healed enough to know that I don't understand you. So we're not going to go there. When I start to find myself being around, now I'm going to use my other primer before I put the rest of my makeup on. Oh, it is tacky. Holy moly. But you know what? This better last me forever because it was $10. And I have a primer that was like $35 that I used to use. I just ran out. And that lasted me for like, honestly, a year. So it's definitely, you get what you pay for. So if this ends up being like super amazing, so worth it. If not, oh well. It's definitely a last minute cheap alternative. I always do like right here because this is where my pores are the biggest. Oh, being 40 is so fabulous. You gotta let that dry before you put on the foundation and the contour and all that fabulousness. It's exhausting. It is literally draining. Let me see what else. They don't care if you feel confused or hurt by their actions. Have you ever, I keep on asking this question because I want you guys to ask me there down below so then I could kind of do like a follow-up video. Have you ever tried, so this is usually what happens for people who are healing. You try to explain yourself or help them understand you as into why you think their behavior is toxic or why you even notice red flags, why you are starting to set boundaries, and you talk to them and then they immediately make you feel like there's something wrong with you. And it starts to make you question yourself like, well, maybe they don't make me feel that way. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And we're always the ones to immediately think that there's something wrong with us. I hate, and I hate using the word hate, but I hate when a toxic individual tries to manipulate a healing individual. Because while you're healing, you're still an overthinker and you're still that person that unfortunately sets blame on yourself. And you always somehow consider yourself the problem without fully understanding that it's not that. So you leave that conversation thinking that you didn't do more. You could have helped them understand you better. And maybe if they could just figure it out, they could be so great and they could stay in your life because you want them in your life so bad. And let me tell you, stop. Stop wanting a toxic individual in your life just because they're related to you, just because you have a long-term friendship, just because you grew up with them, just because they're related to someone you're related to, just because you're scared to be alone. Stop allowing toxic behavior because you fear abandonment, because a person who leaves you because you're being you as you're healing you is not the kind of person you want in your life anyways. Have you ever, like when you squeeze, then way too much comes out? I'm gonna be doing a few layers, so. Seriously, where's my brush? Oh, hell no. I could have swore I took that brush out. Oh, well. I don't like using this one. Not for this, at least. I like to use it at the end. Okay, just so you guys know, this is just the basic stuff that I do to my face, and it's taking a while because I'm doing it while I'm doing a video. Talk to me. Let's see what else this says on here. This is me sharing my life experiences and then asking you guys about yours, because we all have those shitty people in our lives. That's sad. And most of us are related to them. That's what makes it more sad. At least to me, that's how I view it. Like, it really makes me sad. Because you hold your family at this higher standard, because you hold yourself at that standard, and you have that, you want your relatives and loved ones to respect you as much as you respect them. And that's where we make our biggest mistake. I feel like I look so pale. It is what it is, okay? Okay, so hi. I'm gonna go ahead and use my MAC foundation. And I'm not using my brush because I just realized I left it in my car, and my car isn't close to me. So there goes that. And I'm using this on my face instead of the brush that I'm used to using, which, might I add, feels really weird because I'm not used to using this for my entire look. But there's a first time for everything. And the lighting has me feeling very pale, but we're just gonna work with it as we talk about our trauma, because that is what we are doing anyways. Showing them that you are upset can increase their toxic behavior. Oh yes. Have you ever? And then they're like arguing with you, and then they're pissed and how dare you? And then, okay, so I'm not sure if any of you have come across this, but like for me, my family has told me I think I'm better than them because of how I'm healing. They've literally told me, you think you're better than us. This isn't all of them. This is just some. And can I just say that sometimes in my brain, I didn't think this way before, like not even a little. But sometimes now as I get older, I'm kind of like, yeah, I am better. I don't know why. Because I'm doing something and working on myself, and I'm not pointing the blame at my parents. You know, yes, I will say my mom and my dad and relatives are the cause of a lot of my issues. But once you become an adult, it's your responsibility to work on that. And that's, once you become an adult, that's your responsibility to work on that, and it's not theirs. This is just feels weird. And when you're doing contour, you're supposed to dab. But this is just feeling weird, and why am I working up a sweat? I didn't even point out, like, do you guys like my tree? I haven't decorated it or done anything. You guys will see it looking better next week. My goal was to do all of that this weekend, and then yesterday I tried to cook like 3 different meals. So there went that. About our own toxic behaviors and traits. Okay? What do you consider toxic about yourself? I'll go first. I tend to want to control every situation because of fear of loss of control. Because in the past, when I did not have control of a situation in my life, that's when everything went wrong. So because I fear that, I tend to try to control situations that are honestly out of my control. But I try to make it in my control so I can justify trying to control the situation and take over everything. Do you have any other toxic traits? Okay. Now let's just blend a little bit of everything so I don't look so pale. One way to counteract this is using the gray rock technique. I've never heard of that, have you? Where you respond to toxic people with no emotion. I haven't heard of it, but I've done that. I didn't know there was a name to it. This technique helps eliminate the payoff they get from hurting others. Ew. Okay. I like that. You should consider going no contact or low contact with a toxic person. I've been doing that. And let me tell you, it feels fabulous. Fantastic. Amazing. Okay? Block their email, phone number, and social media accounts. If you co-parent with a toxic person, consider communicating via a co-parenting app. That's my sister-in-law. And she does. She does, and I'm so proud of her. Because even when she'll start like allowing him to message her and she'll talk to me and she's like, yeah, well, he texts me, and I'm like, what? He did what? And she's like, oh, I know, wait. I love her. And I will be bringing her on here soon. We will start doing like a podcast or something together because her and I are healing from a lot of similar shit. She has just had way more narcissists in her life than I have. So that's really sad. But I digress. Okay, don't look so scary. Our minerals matte. I need another one. But this lasted me for 2 years. So when I tell you my makeup lasts me for a long time, it lasts me for a long time. So now I want to get to the point where I want to know, what are you doing to work on yourself to eliminate allowing toxic behavior in your life? And what are you doing for yourself to recognize their toxic traits? This is a little blush I got from Ipsy too. To recognize it and then no longer allow it or completely remove it. Like, what are you doing? Tell me, like down there, down below. Let me know. Ooh, down below, let me know. Yes, yes. All right, I like that. Okay, B, go B. Holy cow, that's a lot of blush. Okay. Wasn't expecting that much, but okay. Let's just settle it down a little bit with a little more powder. And you probably can't notice it, and some people like it like that. No. Okay, I'm starting to like it. Starting to look a little better. I don't look so pale and scary. They negatively impact your mental and physical health. They disrupt boundaries and relationships. Yes, they do. They recruit others. Yes. Okay. See, this is why I type this, because I won't remember it when I'm talking, and then I need like a refresher. Okay. Where's this at? And then this. So have you ever had an extremely toxic person try to find other toxic people to like hurt your feelings? Where is this? There it is. Like, have you ever had that happen? I'm used to loose setting powder, so this is new. I saw somewhere that if you put setting powder under here, it'll keep your mascara from bleeding. I'm gonna try to keep our mascara from bleeding. Like, you run into having someone act really weird around you that you used to be like really cool with. And then you're wondering like, what happened? Like, why is this person no longer cool with me the way they used to be? And then you see how cool they are with that other person. And then, you know, you're smart. You're very observant. So you put like 2 and 2 together, and you can't help but think like, oh my God, if you only knew. And why is it always like when they recruit someone? See, this is the thing. And I'm not sure everyone is like me. So I can't assume that you're like me. But when I know that not a good person recruits another person that I thought we were cool with, it takes me a little bit to not tell them, oh, so you're cool with them, right? Do you have any idea the shit that they have talked about you and what I know? I'm not that person. But for a quick second, that petty Betty hits my soul. For a quick second, it hits me, and I want to so bad. But I don't. I just hold my breath and tell myself, karma's a bitch, and it will come and get you. It will come because I didn't do anything for you to treat me differently. And for you to treat me differently based on what somebody else said or their opinion on me because they don't like me actually says a lot about your character. If you lost a friend because of something another person said about you to that friend, and that friend believed it, and you know that it's not true, you didn't lose a friend. You lost an enemy. You lost somebody who didn't know you and care to know you. Anyways, let me do a little bit of this. Let's put a little bit of this under my eye. Then that means I'm gonna have to put on lashes, huh? Let me not poke out my freaking eye. And I love the way it looks. Ask yourself, is toxic behavior worth it? Does someone trying to rain on your parade mean that they're trying to look out for you or trying to be there for you? Do you want that toxic behavior in your life? Is it worth your sanity? Let me just say, usually it's not. Actually, I don't know whenever it has been. Let me tell you, where I'm at now mentally, I can cut you off with no problem. Especially when I know I'm not the problem and you're the problem. I just look at it as your loss. Because like, why? Why? Why am I gonna feel bad that I'm no longer in your life when you actually caused me more damage than good? Why do we do that? Why is it that we hold someone else to a higher standard than we hold ourselves? Like, make it make sense. Going to the store right now for makeup is like trying to go to the store for like Black Friday. I mean, I haven't been to Ulta, so maybe they're not too bad. But Target, the little Ulta section that Target has, oh no. I felt like I was in Walmart. I always use the bottom of my lip liners to blend in my labios. I do not, oh, I can use that maybe. Hold on, let me see. Sometimes I'll use this. Concealer. I've been doing it for a long time, and then I started seeing makeup people do it. And it's funny because I never told anyone that I did it because I was embarrassed that I did it. And now I see makeup artists do it, and I'm like, I've been doing that for a long time. I had a really nice nude. This is Real Her. And so is this. I did a modeling shoot for them once for their makeup, and I got some product by doing it. And I love them. Like, all of their products say like positive affirmations. So like this one says, I love myself, and then their brand. And then this one says, building my empire. What? That's dope. I don't even think I paid attention to that before. I'm scared to touch my hair. Okay. Oh my gosh, but it smells heavenly. Oh, that smells amazing. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love it. Now I gotta hide it so my child doesn't take it. But can you see that one? We are going to end this with love yourself. Remember you're amazing. Remember that anybody who does not appreciate the journey that you are going through for yourself does not deserve to be a part of your life. And when you feel that you are strong enough and you've done a good amount of healing, you can allow them back in your life, but start to set boundaries. I've had to do that with some relatives. And I will say it does make a huge difference, because when you set your boundaries, you tell yourself and convince yourself that those are the boundaries that you set, and you will not allow another person to cross them. When they cross them, you have so much respect for yourself that you actually sit there and tell yourself, yeah, no, I'm not okay with that. And you remove yourself. And as you do it, let me just tell you, that amazing feeling that comes over you is just like, did I just walk away from some toxicity shit? Did I just remove myself from something I would normally allow myself to go through? It is such a relief and release. And I don't know how else to explain it, but don't do yourself disservice when you're trying to heal and you're working on yourself by allowing toxic people in your life. Don't allow those to convince you not to work on yourself, or tell you that what it is that you think is wrong with you or the behavior you've allowed, that it's okay. Do not allow people to use, we've been friends for a really long time, we're related to somebody else you're related to, we're a longtime family friend. There is no excuse to allow toxic behavior in your life. There is none. Even if you choose not to work on yourself, at least don't allow that. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. Love and peace. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Set boundaries for yourself. One thing that I do tell myself every day is what is meant for me will be. You're beautiful and wise. You are kind and humble. And you are loving. And I don't remember them all. Sometimes I'll say one, sometimes I'll say two, sometimes I'll say all, sometimes I'll say the last one. So just say something positive about yourself every day, and do not say anything negative about yourself, and don't allow yourself to say anything negative about yourself. We all know that we're not perfect. We all know that we have flaws and things that we need to work on. But what is important is that you're working on it. And even if you're not in the process of working on it, watching this video means that it's something that you're thinking about doing, something that you want to do, something that you probably debate with yourself on doing. If this is a sign, start working on you. I know it's exhausting. I know it's a lot of work. I know I will tell you this from experience. It is easier to stay toxic than it is to heal. And it's just because that is our comfort zone, because we lived in that place for so long. I love you guys. Stay strong. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to feel lonely. Love your own company enough to where it doesn't feel lonely anymore. Because I'm there, and it is a really fucking great feeling. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like, because apparently that does something to whatever YouTube does. And don't forget to even hit the little bell where it'll tell you every single time I post something new. Have an amazing day. And I will see you guys later. Bye.